Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host Stan Rattan and this is a blue collar wine show where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. How do I do that? I review the wines, I grade them, then it's up to you. I review, it's up to you. And I got my son here helping me film again. Mike is here. Mike is in the house, which is really nice to have somebody to talk to instead of just the camera, as you guys probably can understand. We're doing a new winery. I've never, they're probably not new, but it's the first time I've seen them. Goyette Winery from California. We're doing a Chardonnay, a Pinot Noir, and a Cab. And just a little background of Robert Goyette, the winemaker. He's been doing it for 50 years. That just amazes me. These guys that are winemakers, they'll go forever. You know, they just love it. Just shows you it's a good job if they stick with it that long. He started out when Lacrema was just a boutique winery. Now Lacrema's huge. Lacrema Chardonnay is probably one of my #1 selling chards to all those really buttery Chardonnay drinkers that don't want to spend 40 bones on a Rombauer. So they buy Lacrema for $20+. So this is the same winemaker. After Lacrema, he went to Benziger, and he was with them for a long time. Now, Benziger is an organic or sustainable winery, so you know he had that background, and now he's working as a winemaker for Stephen Vincent and Goyette. So we're going to get started right away. All of these are $20 retail. Not bad, you know, $20. So it's still cheaper than Lacrema. I'm really curious what the flavor profile is going to be on this one, since he did come from Lacrema, where they do really buttery Chardonnays. So this is a 2012 Goyette Sonoma Coast Chardonnay. Give you a little shot of that. Hopefully I'm in the right spot. I did okay. All right, thumbs up from Micah. Cool. We played golf, 18 holes of golf yesterday.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yeah. Travis, Westy, Griff,
okay,
and Jimmy.
Nice.
And then Griff had to go back because his wife was doing the big Oscar party. But we watched the Oscars. We thought they were pretty cool. It was the guy. I knew the guy that played Stephen Hawkins was going to win. I mean, you can't miss there. But I would have liked it if. I'm not going to remember his name. Batman.
Oh.
How come I can't remember his name? I know his name. I can see his face.
I know his name too. I just can't think of it.
That's crazy. It's funny how you just.
Christian,
I knew that
Christian Bale.
No. The early Batman.
Oh.
Come on. He's an older guy now. I can see his face. Everybody's laughing at me. I'm going to give up. It'll come to me. He played the first Batman ever. Before Val Kilmer. He's done a lot of movies. He did Mr. Mom.
He's in Multiplicity, wasn't he?
Yeah, Multiplicity too.
I don't remember his name.
Oh, come on. That's embarrassing. I mean,
I can picture
he came up to the island for a while. Anyway, I was hoping he would make it because he's been around a long time. I think this is the first time he's been nominated for an Oscar. I can see his face. Come on. Anyway. Let's see what we get on the nose. Julianne Moore, though. I mean, that was cool. She won the Best Actress. So I'm getting a little butter on this one for sure. A little bit of butter. A little bit of pear and pineapple. It's always so funny when you get on the website and you look at their descriptors. They come up with all this stuff. Kiwi, buttered toast. Not getting any of that. I don't know if I ever told you this. I always taste the whites at the temperature I believe most people will taste them. Because otherwise, how could you possibly give a descriptor to the public if you're drinking it warm?
Yeah.
I mean, there might be what? I would be willing to say there might be 5% of people that drink theirs close to room temperature. Maybe 5%. But most people drink it a lot colder than I'm drinking it. So I've tried to find that happy medium. Get a little spice box, kind of little baking spices coming through. Let's move on and see what we get on the palate. It's kind of noisy, isn't it? I'm gonna have to taste this one again. Michael Keaton. I knew it'd come to me. It's such a Michael Keaton. I wanted him to win the Oscar just because, you know, like that one year that Bill Murray was up for an Oscar. I didn't like that movie he was in, but I was hoping he'd get one because, I mean, these guys have been doing it for a long time. They're very dedicated actors, you know, and here he has this chance, and he has to go up against this guy that played Stephen Hawking, you know, who ended up being paralyzed, had that disease. That's hard to beat. But that being said, he did a good job. We started, we rented the movie that he was in, and pretty good movie. Anyway, this has got real buttery. It's a little bit oakier than I like, personally. I get a lot of pears and apples on the mid palate. Pretty solid wine front to back, good acidity, which you're always looking for in a Chardonnay. You don't want it to be too buttery. Then it becomes, I mean, Rombauer amazes me. I mean, it tastes literally like liquefied movie popcorn butter. And yet, it's not like terrible, it's not sweet. It's a nice balance, and they dial it in. It's almost like they have, you know, little dials that they, you know, this much of this and this much of that. And I mean, it's the same every year. This has a little bit more acid, a little bit more of that pineapple kind of tropical fruit coming through on the palate. Finish is very clean. The only thing to me, the only flaw I would say in this wine is the oak is just a little bit kind of disjointed with the fruit, but it's not terrible. This is a nice wine for those people who are looking for a little oak on their wine, but they don't want too much. Good acid. I like it. I think it's a good, well-made wine. I think it's a B wine. I'm going to give it a B. $20. Let's move on to the Goyette. I hope it's not Goyette. Is he French? I'm going to go with Goyette for right now. It might be Goyette. I'm thinking, let's see, 2 T's. Would that be Goyette? It might be. Huh. Anyway, 2012 Goyette Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir. $20. Now $20 is a great price for a Pinot, if it shows well. Got it? Okay, cool. Little rinse here. If you're going to do Pinot Noir from, if you're going to do Pinot Noir from California, Sonoma Coast is a good spot for it. Russian River Valley is a great spot. Santa Lucia Highlands, good spot. There's a lot of great spots. There's also a lot of bad spots in California. 100% Pinot Noir, that's what they say on the website. Okay, I like the nose right off the bat. It's kind of that real earthy kind of sulfur, dirt. But it has the cherries coming through, kind of like cherries with a little bit of sulfur on them. A little stinky, like that. And just a touch of cinnamon coming through on the back end. That's a nice nose. For you Pinot Noir kind of geeky Pinot Noir people, this is an excellent nose on the wine. What it's telling me right off the bat, the cherries are coming through with a little baking spice, is that they didn't put Syrah in it. That's what it's telling me on the nose. Usually when they put Syrah in it, you get a little richer nose. The cherries and currants kind of pop out a little bit more. This has more funk on it than it does fruit. Alright, let's see what we get on the palate. dare I say, Burgundian. This has very Burgundian flavors to it, meaning it's a lot like Burgundy out of France. But at the same time, you can tell it has a little California sunshine too, because it has a little bit of a ramped up kind of almost like charred currants coming through, or charred like barbecued cherries. You'll have to try this one afterwards. It's got bark, black tea, very earthy, but at the same time those currants come through, very charred currant. Very, very much a Pinot Noir lover's Pinot Noir. So this isn't going to appeal to 85% of the people. This will appeal to 50 to 60% of those people who really like their Pinots in this style. But it's done very well. It's got good acid. The finish is very earthy, but at the same time those cherries and currants come through. A little bit of cola too, a little bit of root beer and cola. Thins out just a touch on the finish, but this is a pretty good wine. I'm going to go B+. That one. Good Pinot for $20. Let's move on to the next one. Rinse. Yeah, Michael Keaton does an excellent job in that movie. Birdman. Have you seen that yet?
No.
You know, I'm surprised I can do wine. I have so much trouble remembering certain things. But I do remember a lot of things about wine. Goyette, Sonoma County, 2011 Cabernet Sauvignon. Again, $20. All of the labels, Goyette. I hope I'm probably butchering that. Okay, so the Pinot showed well. I've not tasted a lot of cabs out of Sonoma. This might be corked. You know, if this is corked, which I think it is, I'm on an amazingly bad streak with corked wines. I mean, I've hit more corked wines doing this program than I've hit in the last 5 years. Seriously. I don't know what it is. It's close. Maybe not. Very, very good currant and rose petal notes coming out. That was funny. At first it did. It smelled cork. But we'll see on the palate for sure. It's got some tobacco, a little bit of chocolate coming through, a little bittersweet chocolate. I like the nose on that. Let's see what we get on the palate. Not corked. Good structure. Nice wine. I mean, it's very smooth, very polished. A little bit of spice on the back end, which I really like. A little bit of white pepper. Interesting, barely, but you can taste it. I get the oak influence. I get a little bit of those oak tannins coming through. But like I said, nice structure. It turns from like currants, like dark currants, to almost a red cherry sort of element on the backside. Like I said, it has a little grip, telling you it's serious, but it's smooth at the same time. This would be a really good food Cabernet Sauvignon, but at the same time you can drink it solo, I mean, if you want to. I mean, if you want to sit there and have just a sip of Cabernet, maybe you're munching on something, some snacks, and you want some... And it even has a little bit of a green element on the back end, it's not like blackberry bushes, but it's more like not alfalfa. It's more like a green tea thing going on the backside. A good amount of tobacco also on this wine. This is a really good cab. I mean, I'm really digging this cab because it's a little bit old school. You know, it doesn't have that big fruit, but it's smooth at the same time. Good structure, nice finish. Get a little bit of tobacco. That bittersweet chocolate is just barely there, but it's there. And I like that kind of green tea element on the very backside of this wine. That's a good bottle of wine for 20 bucks. It's a good cab for 20 bucks. I know a lot of my customers that would like this wine a lot. I'm going to go B plus, A minus on that one for 20 bucks. Good play. So there you go. None of them scored bad. What, B, B plus, A minus? Good effort. Good wines. I think it's Goyette. I think. But I'm not positive. Might be Goyette. I didn't kind of pay attention. That's my bad when the sales rep was giving them to me. But excellent wines. Good call. By the way, just a question today. What was your favorite moment in the Oscars if you watched them? Mine was Dakota Johnson, Melanie Griffith's daughter. They were together, and the interviewer is asking Melanie Griffith if she watched 50 Shades of Grey. And she said she didn't. And she asked him if she was, and she goes, I'm not sure if I'm going to. I might be too uncomfortable. And then the interviewer goes, well, don't you want to see how good of an actress your daughter is? And she goes, how good of a job? She goes, I already know she's a good actress. And Dakota Jones looked at her and turned away and goes, whatever. I mean, she was literally kind of a little miffed at her mom for saying she wasn't going to watch it. It was funny. It was one of those moments where you could tell they were mother-daughter. I mean, there was nothing holding them back. Daughter got a little bit pissed at her mom for saying that she wasn't going to watch it. And anyway, it was funny. So what was your favorite moment in the Oscars? If you watched them, what part did you like the best? Did you like the dude that, I can't even think of his name. He was the host. Anyway, he did an okay job. He had a couple of really bad jokes. Anyway, just remember, wine is not a mystery. It is just fermented grape juice. Learn your palate. Be true to it. Always be willing to stretch out and try new things. And never, ever, ever let anybody tell you what you should or shouldn't like. If we do that together, we can take the snob out of wine.